Hi guys, today we are headed to George Ray's Wildcat Dragstrip. It's the last day of the season. We've got a nice warm day, so we're going to go out. We're going to take Panda out, try to do some test hits, see if we can get this thing to hook up and do any better than it did last time. Now, last time we were out, I had 2-inch drop shackles in the back, so the rear end was 2 inches lower, and I did not have traction bars on the truck. It would try to plant, but it was like it didn't have enough travel. You could watch it in the video in slow motion. It would like bounce like 3 times and just knock the tires plumb off. But we also noticed that my left back tire wasn't spinning in the burnout, which has me thinking the clutches in this diff may be hurt. We've got a Yukon posi in there with the purple springs. Really like a Eaton True Track would be better for what we're doing with the truck, but that's what we had, so that's what we... I wouldn't be surprised if the clutches in the posi unit are wore out. That's really my only worry. But we got the back of the truck brought up 2 inches. We got the traction bars on it. Got the drag radials on it. We're going to go out there and see what we can make happen and see what the truck will do today. Let's dive into this episode, see what happens. So we got to George Ray's right at 12 o'clock, maybe 10 minutes after, which gave us about 40 to 50 minutes worth of test time. Like I said before, our biggest thing today is to see if the truck does the same thing that it did last time we had it out, to know if it was a suspension issue or a rear end issue. We backed in, let the truck cool off for a few minutes. We got all our stuff out, got our stuff set up. I hit the burnout box. It actually spun both tires in the burnout box. I was super heavy on the throttle trying to torque that rear axle into turning over both rear wheels. We had a nice burnout, backed up, staged, and when I left, it did the same exact thing it did a couple weeks ago when we had it out. We tried again, we got the same results. Truck knocked the back tire off on the passenger side and smoked it all the way down the track. It finally gained traction about the 400 foot or so, maybe the 450, and I really got into it hard and tried to pick up a little bit of time, but it wasn't enough to even make a time worth calling or even saving. We're going to work on getting an Eaton True Track put in this thing and try to be back at the beginning of next season testing, making this thing hook up and go at least A to B and give us a decent baseline to run off of. So maybe we could try to go out and be competitive in the index class next year. Whatever class the truck's going to place itself in is what I want to run in it. And just go out and have some fun every now and then and burn some tires and hang out with our friends. We've put thousands of miles on this truck, countless hours of just pure enjoyment. So to have a little bit of fight back on testing and tuning and getting this thing dialed in for some drag racing, I'll take that. So we know that raising the rear of the truck up 2 inches and installing traction bars didn't necessarily help our issue. And if you look at the truck when it leaves, it's not knocking off both tires, it's only knocking off the right rear tire. I think the rear end's hurting this thing. I think the clutches in that Yukon are wore out. It was a used unit when we put it in, and I think it just doesn't like what we're throwing at it. Over the winter, we're going to work on putting an Eaton True Track in it and get back out there for next season, get this thing hooking up and doing what it's supposed to do. I wanted to do more test hits and really just get some more footage for you guys, but at the same time, the truck's just doing the same thing every pass. We know what it's going to do again. The next pass just does a 400 foot burnout. It's pretty much all it wants to do. One wheel burnout. So to keep us from getting stranded at the track because we drove the truck out there, we called it a day and cruised the truck back to the shop. So I know this wasn't a super exciting episode, wasn't a super long episode, but I want to start showing you guys more of the struggle and more of the troubleshooting and the testing and the trying to figure stuff out. One thing we see too much in the motorsports world and in the content creation is the final result. We cut out a lot of the mess and we cut out a lot of the struggle and a lot of the learning and pretty much try to just deliver a result. And I'd like to start trying to change that up a little bit and show you guys more of our struggles, some of the stuff we go through trying to achieve our goals, and show you guys that it's not all rainbows and pots of gold at the end of them out here. Sometimes you're chasing, trying to get some things lined out. The most important thing is that we learn from it, and when we come back, we do better. Like I said, we knew when we went out there, if it did the same thing, that it wasn't a suspension issue. There's no reason that thing shouldn't try to hook up a little better on traction bars and having that 2 more inches of travel in the back. It's not on any crazy drag racing suspension. It's not on coilovers. They're not even adjustable shocks. So I'm not saying the truck doesn't need any suspension work, but we all know leaf springs, a set of cow tracks, and a posi unit, that thing should be hooking up, at least trying to, and not just annihilating one wheel all the way down the track. So I think it's safe to say the rear end's hurt. We're going to regroup. We're going to fix that. We're going to be back 10 times stronger, and we're going to get this thing lined out, and we're going to get some base times, hopefully before winter's over, but we can't guarantee that. We got a lot going on around here. We're trying to finish up the 62 Impala. Be looking out for the episode on that where we rewire the entire car. But let us know in the comments if you want to see more of the stuff like today, where we go out and we test, we try new things, we make some changes, regroup and try again. Or if you guys want to see more of the end result stuff, what do you guys want to see? That's what's important to us. So let us know in the comments. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. And if you have any questions, drop us an email or head over to our website, www.727motorsports.net, and go to the Contact Us page and drop us an email there. And until next time, remember, if you're not following us, grab that button.